A lot of you think that just because you don't support the right, you aren't a part of the problem. There are people running around like a bunch of angry, infected monkeys.
Stop! You've no idea!
They attack people they don't like, and they spread their hate. When they experience consequences, people you don't expect defend them, allowing the hatred to spread even further. Some of you think what's going on is just a difference of opinion rather than a threat to people's safety. You're a part of the problem. Your preference for order and comfort and in the absence of tension over justice makes the US unsafe for everyone. Actually, this is spread worldwide. That's the thing. These people you're defending are people who grew up calling their mothers by her first name. And when Sarah weakly attempted to reprimand Kyle, he would threaten her with harm. Then she would chalk it up to him expressing himself. Boys will be boys. I'd see these kids at school and I'd see them in church. The adults would say someone needed to slap some sense into that child, but nobody ever did. And definitely not Donnie's mom or dad. He never received consequences. He only got coddling and reassurance and an iPad. We are dealing with a bunch of angry boys who spent their childhood torturing insects and small animals. And now they're tormenting anyone who disagrees with them. And they still aren't being held accountable. They hate anyone who doesn't look like them. They think girls are the problem. These people are mad that nobody wants to be around them. And you're defending them doesn't make sense. You think you can change their mind through common sense conversation and being nice. Meanwhile, they're preying on your sympathy. Yes, people can change. They can become good, but they have to make that change on their own. You have to realize that your body, my choice, goes way beyond the embryo. These people, they want folks in the fields or dangling from trees. For people like me, it's hard to know which ones are the ones that are not dangerous. They are so beholden to their ideals that they're even hurting the people they're claiming to protect. But I'm supposed to shed tears for Steven when he gets hurt? The same boy who was taught how to handle a gun, but not his emotions. We're dealing with people who don't trust education, but I'm supposed to have an intellectual conversation with them about why I'm more qualified than Matt. Got it. I have to prove why I should be considered for a job in my field of study with 15 years of work experience because somehow Matt, a community college dropout, is more qualified than me. Matt, who won't vaccinate his dog for rabies because someone made a post about pet autism. Matt, who believes a social media post over a doctor's advice. Matt, who buys guns to prevent gun violence. Matt, who thinks I took his job that he was never qualified for. If he took half of the energy he puts into hating me into bettering himself, his life would improve dramatically. But you want me to have a calm discussion about his politics. Here's the thing. We first have to teach Ben the difference between politics and opinion. What Andrew considers politics is fiction. It's not fact. Politics is who should be taxed and by how much and how that money should be used. Politics is what laws should be created and who should enforce them. Politics is managing public resources. Politics is not making a 10-year-old carry a child that was forced on her. Politics is not saying that achievement by Black people can only be done through affirmative action and DEI. Politics is not calling for public executions. Politics is not deciding who has the right to exist. Maybe you're right. People like me should be more respectful. We should be more patient. Of course, change will come, no matter how gradual it may feel. I mean, it's how we got here today, right? Just kidding. These people are end-oriented. They don't want to improve things. They think the world is too rotten to fix. So they're working to save souls, not people. Or they think everything is meaningless apart from domination. Both of these paths justify their need to be superior to everyone else. What's the point of making the world better when it ends anyway? What is the point of making the world better when its people aren't worthy of being here? It's easy to punish others and unleash rage on them when you feel like it doesn't matter. Those people chose a sinful life. So they're asking to be treated that way, right? Those people are the reason for whatever ails me. So it's easy to treat them that way. They are empty and they seek extremes to give themselves meaning. But you want me to give them my thoughts and prayers. I get it. You value comfort and order over progress, over the safety of others. You are capitulating in the face of extremism. Tucker's ideology, it's rooted in exclusionism, destruction. He loves his neighbor, but only if he can choose the neighborhood. You're spending more time on maintaining order. With every moment we wait, we are losing ground. People are losing their rights. They are losing their lives. Forget trying to convince Ron that his opinions are steeped in hate. You don't need to launder his words. Disengage from him, but call out his BS. When you defend the marketplace of ideas, people's lives become the product. You can't reason with someone who doesn't want to be reasoned with. Debating them moves the needle not at all. Instead, do what they've been doing. Convert the undecided. Share your ideas with the politically illiterate. And for those of you who don't identify with James's ideology, you have a responsibility. You have to do more than just oppose hate. You have to actively resist it. You have to resist the temptation to be patient for change. You have to stop demanding that marginalized people wait for a more convenient moment, because every time you capitulate, you're avoiding your responsibility. That makes you complicit. It means you are colluding with people committed to violence and destruction they can't be compromised with. How do you compromise with absolute destruction? The only option is resistance. There are not two sides. Unless you call for justice, you are maintaining injustice. You have to be unwilling to settle, because right now demands urgency.
Parents of white boys don't want your kid radicalized online? Do these 5 things. 1. Interrupt the victim's story. At some point, your son may say he feels attacked for just being white or male. Don't roll your eyes, but also don't coddle him either. Extremist groups that are just a podcast away groom boys by selling them the lie that they're the real victims of feminism or diversity. That victim story is one of the earliest hooks, turning isolation into blame that's easy to weaponize. The best prevention is early conversation, teaching the difference between discomfort and oppression, and offering healthier narratives about belonging and fairness. 2, teach emotional literacy. If your son can't name or regulate his feelings, he's way more likely to turn rejection into rage. Teach him how to say, I feel lonely, instead of girls are the problem. Feelings don't disappear just because you ignore them. They leak out as blame and turn into resentment and contempt, and then far worse. 3, model healthy masculinity. If all he hears is man up and don't cry, he's going to find belonging in toxic online spaces that reward cruelty, because if you won't let him be vulnerable, he'll settle for being violent. Show him that strength includes kindness, sensitivity, and respect, or Reddit will happily show him the opposite. 4, teach digital literacy. Stop pretending he's just gaming. He's also in Discord servers, YouTube rabbit holes, and TikTok feeds being told who to hate. Teach him what algorithms are and how propaganda works, or the internet will raise him for you. 5, build belonging that isn't online, please. Isolation is rocket fuel for radicalization. If your kid doesn't feel connected in the real world, he's going to go looking for belonging on Discord, YouTube, and anonymous forums full of rage. And those places will happily hand him an identity built on cruelty. So here's the bottom line. Get your sons off Discord. Don't give them weapons. Give them belonging. Sign them up for bands, D&D groups, improv classes, woodworking, archery, volunteering, whatever makes him feel connected and creative. Talk to him about the feelings he's feeling before some manosphere influencer does it for you. Because if you don't shape his world, the algorithm will, and you're not going to like the result.